Would you like to start off by introducing yourself a little? What's your name, where you're based in Brisbane, your hobbies, likes and dislikes, and things like that?
Alright, I'm Lachlan, or Anthrodynia, as I am on my socials and stuff like that. I'm based in southeast Brisbane, and I just like music and all that stuff. I'm a very opinionated person, so I've got a lot of different opinions on a lot of various topics, mainly to do with the social environment, I guess. Yeah, that's really all I got for that.
Nice, good. Good to know. Next question. What instrument or instruments do you play? And for how long have you been how long have you been playing for?
My main instrument that I play would probably be guitar, but I know a number of instruments. I learned drums I think when I was like six years old, and I've been playing that up until I was like 13. Then I picked up the guitar, and through different music classes and stuff like that, just at school, I realized my proper love for like instruments and music, and I learned piano, learned how to use synths and stuff like that. Most string instruments like ukulele, bass. Just a big fan of that sort of stuff, yeah. So since I was like 16, since I was 6 to 18, so 12 years.
Great. Love the diversity of your musicianship. Now, let's go on to your music. How would you describe your debut album that you released today? Or your music in general?
Music is kind of this weird mix of inspirations from like, different shoegaze bands, metal bands. Just that sort of like underwaterish, sad, depressed sort of thing, I guess is a way to call it. A little bit of that teen angst mixed in. Anthrodynia was a first like an idea when I was like 15 or 16, and I've only really had it come to fruition within these past few months, and got this debut album coming out, and it's really just, yeah, it's just a representation of what I stand for, and true stories that people don't really hear about. Album really focuses in on like, I don't know, just different stories that not only I've experienced, but people I know have experienced, and stories that I've seen on the news, online, all that shit. It's really just, it just focuses in on those depressing things that I don't think a lot of people like to look at fully and actually try and do anything about. It irritates me when a lot of people say that they stand for these things but then don't have any representation of that.
Yeah, definitely agree. Why say something if you can't back it up, Now, I've listened to only one of your songs off your album, Microdots. I think that's what it's called. Do you want to kind of explain, if you can, the meaning behind the song?
Anthrodots really focuses in on like drug use. It's the only real song that I have focusing in on that. I had a bad experience when I was in my teenage years, a lot of drug use, and I got quite addicted to different substances, but it really aims in on LSD and the effects that can have on someone. Just those sort of psychedelic drugs that give you this otherworldly view on things, and it's really just about a bad trip. It's mainly a bad trip that I've experienced before. With one of my friends, we had a big trip, decided to drop acid, and he was really struggling, had a really big freak out, and it was honestly a scary moment for me because we were somewhere that we weren't used to, that we don't live around, and it just made me realize like kind of how dangerous it can be if it's not controlled. I don't think drug use is looked at how it used to be looked at. I think it's very glorified, and I don't think it should be glorified.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's a very touchy subject, and I'm sorry that your friend had to that you and your friend, sorry, had to experience that. But good on you for addressing the glorification of substance abuse. Yeah, it's a very touchy subject, as I said. Now, onto the album cover. On a different note, what or who inspired the album cover? Tell me a little bit about it.
I think how religion is represented, because it's a photo of a church that's actually based here in Brisbane. I think how it's represented is quite a beautiful thing in a sense. I'm personally not religious, but I do think that the artwork and the statues and everything about it is just it's just an interesting thing for me, and I think it's quite a beautiful thing to look at. The idea for the artwork actually wasn't even mine. I got a friend that runs the Brizzy Scene account on Instagram, and they do a lot of photography at different bars and clubs and just scenery around Brisbane and showing off, the nightlife, the outfits, everything. It's an awesome site actually. It's an awesome page, and I really recommend that everyone goes and checks it out. But yeah, they took the photo for me, and it was just awesome. It was really sick. It was a great night, just going out and doing promo photos and all this stuff. But it's a great account, and their photos really give me a lot of thoughts for stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Brizzy Scene absolutely rocks. I met with her last month after the AP Hall gig, by Broken Records, yeah. Yeah, it was last month, yeah. Now, do you have any plans to perform live or release physical copies of your album? Or is it all under wraps for now, so to speak?
I feel like the meanings of my music are never really under wraps, but in terms of how I'm going forward with the career for it, don't really have any plans for live shows. I'm playing a live show in a little bit. It's just my friend though. But I don't really have any plans to do live shows. I haven't really talked to anyone too much or focused on Anthrodynia as a whole for a little bit, not since the album's been released. At least at the early release of the Ahipa Hall gig. But yeah, not really any plans. I do want to do some more physical copies of the CDs. But yeah, other than that, not really. I do want to do a revamp of the album at some point. It's just got a few things that I'd like to tweak about it, but I think the album's pretty good. I think it's raw, I think it's authentic, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. So
Yeah, that's totally understandable. And good luck with that gig, by the way. Now, final question. Would you like to say anything else about yourself as an artist, about the Brisbane music scene, anything of that nature? Just anything, really.
Just with the music scene, I just want to keep it alive. I want music to be real. I want it to stand for something. I want it to have meaning. I don't want it to be this, I want to make music, I want to be mainstream, I want to do this and this and this. I just want people to write music, listen to music, enjoy music, and stop focusing so much on this capitalistic view on it where you have to be so popular and all this shit. It's a big irritating factor for me, and I just want it to stay real. I just want people to just love music like I love music. Even if the music you write might not be the most polished or whatever it is, if you like the way that it sounds and you like the music you hear, then listen to it. I don't have much to say about that.
Yep, couldn't have said it better. Well, thanks so much for making the time to do the interview. I hope to see the album in my collection soon. And best of luck with your music.